Welcome back. Richard Southern joining us now from the 680 News Business Centre. And Richard, it appears the price of groceries is on the rise, and it's pushing some Canadians to shift their eating habits. Tell us about that.
Sure is, Pam. I mean, we know food prices have gone up, and there was a big new survey from Angus Reid out today that found 87% of those Canadians that were asked about this felt that the grocery prices were going up faster than their income, which we know is a fact. And so for more than half of consumers, Pam, they say they're going to change some of their eating habits. They're going to eat out less. They're going to start using flyers. They're going to start clipping coupons more. They're going to start buying in bulk. And interestingly enough, they're going to eat less meat to save some money at the grocery store. Last month, Dalhousie and Guelph universities, they predicted food prices will go up 4% next year, about double the rate of inflation, adding some $500 to the average family's grocery bill. And Pam, 70%. It sure is, especially with people, very tight with the housing and rent payments these days.
Kidding.
70% very worried about vegetable prices, which are up a whopping 15% this year over last.
I've noticed that, haven't you?
Climate change playing into this. Of course, I've noticed it, Pam. It's not just climate change, though. It's disease, it's trade issues, all factoring in to those higher grocery bills.
Well, I can tell you that I hardly ever eat out for that reason. I'm just too cheap. And I also shop. I don't shop at Loblaws or Whole Foods or anything like that. I pay the least amount I could possibly pay.
It's a good move, and compare prices if you have the time, Pam.
Yep.
You can't save money doing that, for sure.
Well, this next one has dominated headlines in 2019. Boeing is now halting production on the 737 MAX aircraft.
Yeah, this is the jet that has been grounded since March amid two deadly crashes. The companies actually had been making about 40 of the jets a month, even with it being grounded. Now it says come January, they're going to temporarily stop that to deal with this big backlog of jets that can't take to the skies. It's having a major impact here in Canada. What with Air Canada had, counting on this plane to make up a huge chunk of its narrow-bodied fleet. WestJet has been buying a lot of them too, Sunwing as well. And so all those Canadian airlines, they've been forced to cancel some routes. They've been forced to rent less fuel-efficient planes, hurting the bottom line. And all this, Pam, has resulted in higher airfares for the likes of you and I. Right. So a big ripple effect here.
Well, I'm surprised they were continuing production after those crashes, and the fact that they were grounded. Like, I'm surprised that Air Canada would still want to purchase one of those planes.
They hope a software fix can remedy the issue, so they're hoping there's nothing actually wrong with the physical airplane itself. And it's tough to stop this huge supply chain they have. That's why they kept making it, Pam.
I know. I wouldn't want to get on one.
It's going to be tough sell. A lot of people don't know what type of airplane they're getting on, though. You got to realize that.
Yeah. So in the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson won the election in a Conservative landslide. And now some residents are taking another look at their employment options. Tell us about that.
Not all Brits were happy with that big Boris Johnson win last week, Pam. Searches by Brits for jobs here in Canada spiked 111% immediately after the results started rolling in. According to job search site Indeed, Canada was the #1 destination for those in the UK looking to jump ship and work somewhere else. We saw a similar spike in searches after Trump won the U.S. election 3 years ago, but not a big follow-through. Migration from the States to Canada is up only marginally over those 3 years, Pam.
So just before we go, Richard, you got a quick look at the gas prices and some of the other stories you'll be bringing us later?
No change for the price of gas tonight, and we're back just a little bit after 6:30, looking at the show The Simpsons marking its 30th anniversary today, and we're asking people here in Toronto what their favorite Simpsons moments are.
Okay, thank you, Richard. We'll talk to you again next hour.
Thanks.